Amanda Serrano has come out on Instagram and said that she will not fight under the WBC until the rules are changed for women to be equal to men as far as the bout rules. Her last fight was 10 rounds or 2-minute rounds versus a man's title fight, which would be 12 rounds at 3-minute rounds. She put it on Instagram. I love boxing. I've given my life to the sport. No phone, no boyfriend, no parties, just boxing. I am the only boxer, male or female, from Puerto Rico to become undisputed champion. I am the only female boxer to have won titles in 7 divisions. I am the first female boxer, along with Katie, to headline Madison Square Garden. I am the first female boxer to make 7 figures from a fight and the same from sponsors. I am the first undisputed female champion to fight 12 3-minute rounds. Moving forward, if a sanctioning body doesn't want to give me and my fellow fighters a choice to fight the same as the men, then I will not be fighting for the sanctioning body. The WBC has refused to evolve the sport for equality, so I am relinquishing the title. Thank you to the sanctioning bodies who have evolved for equality. If you want to face me in the ring, you have a choice. I've made mine. Thank you all my fellow fighters who stood with me. Thank you to my team. Thank you to my fans. And above all, thank you, God, and blessed.
I think she's absolutely right. Look, if there was one thing that we fought for with women's MMA in the beginning, because it started off 3-minute rounds. Can't have women going 5-minute rounds. Oh my God. Where in the world is it that a woman can't do as much time as a man in a sport? That is nuts. Has that stuff not gone by the wayside? It used to be, there was no women's marathon. They can't run 26 miles. What? Have you lost your fucking mind? Amanda Serrano fights. You got to figure she's had titles with the WBO, the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC. The WBC's rule set for their championship fights are 2-minute rounds for the women. It shouldn't be. They should change it. And she's right. Why am I going to go and fight a 3-minute round for this sanctioning body, but I got to fight a 2-minute round for this one? What makes it to where it's different? There's no rule changes in MMA for women, not one. Because everyone talks about, well, what about hit to the balls? It's called groin shots, and women have groins and men have groins, and you can't get hit in either. Doesn't say anything about testicles. Okay, there's not one freaking rule that's different. There's not one thing that's different. And that's one of the reasons why women's MMA has worked, because everything's the same. There's no difference. People don't see a difference. I think she's right.
Do I think she's right? She is right. As a promoter, though, John, what's going through their minds? I'm going to let you talk on that. As a promoter, what is going through their minds when they're talking about having 2 female fighters for 12 rounds?
The biggest problem with women's boxing is it's not the same as women's MMA in the fact that women's MMA can utilize heavier tools. Kicks and knees and elbows all have bigger impacts than the punches that a small female can put out and deliver with impact. Not a whole lot carry a ton of power. So they're looking at it saying, we're looking at 12 3-minute rounds and the fight's going to possibly go that long almost every time. And that's what they're worried about. And I understand that. You can't change it.
Can we make some suggestions, though? You want it to be equal, but I say, look, let's make suggestions to how to make the sport better then for the viewers at home and for maybe even for the fighters. I said the same thing about basketball, for females basketball. You want it to be more entertaining? Lower the rim 2 inches. Okay, give them a foot, whatever it is. Give them a chance to be able to dunk down. Slam the ball in someone's face. Posterize another female and put that up on a poster for a young female to have up on her wall.
Yeah,
this type of thing. I think if you want to make women's boxing more entertaining, they need to start fighting in 4 and 6 ounce gloves, not having them in the 8 and 10 ounce gloves.
True.
Sorry, I think it doesn't make sense. Not all women possess power like men that can get them out of there.
Not all
It's
men
lower.
possess power, especially
exactly.
in the lighter
Josh
weights.
Thomson.
No, especially in the lighter weights. Look, at the lighter the person is,
Yeah.
it's hard to put another person out because you just don't have the weight behind it to make it, to where you can put that person out. It's tough. And I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. I think a 6-ounce glove is absolutely something that they should be looking at for the smaller weight classes.
And then when you get to the 54, a 60 pound and above, whatever, go to 8 ounce. You go to 6 and 8, give that extra opportunity for finishes to happen. And I think you'll start seeing that promoters will start jumping on board. They're going to get more knockouts. They're going to get more people getting staggered and rocked. You're going to get more excitement in the fight. Right now, they're fighting with pillowcases, big pillows on their hands, just wrapped. I mean, there's not a lot of damage that's done. Sure, they get bloodied up. Sure, they get swollen a little bit. But people watch boxing to see the finish. No different than how they watch MMA to see the finish, whether it's submission, whether it's knockout, whatever it is. They're looking for the finish. I'm just giving suggestions. I'm thinking out loud. But look, as a sanctioning body, the WBC, whatever it is, okay? They're basically saying we need to see more action to get people to want to buy these fights. And until we can do that, we're going to keep it the 10 rounds and 2-minute longs or whatever it is. That's what they decide to do. That's what they decide to do. I don't mind that she's leaving and saying, I'm not going to represent this belt anymore. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. She's trying to fight for women's equality. But do something a little bit more than that. Don't just run away from it. Go, hey, what do we need to do then to make this happen? Be that person that speaks up. Don't be the one that says, they don't want to hear me. No. Sit down with them and say, let's sit down and put some options out there. And say, hey, this is what look, so many people, including myself, I catch myself doing it all the time. We complain about all the shit around the world. No one has any fucking solutions. So be that person. Everyone's quick to complain about this, complain about that. Well, let's talk about solutions. Let's sit down and say, look, this is what I'm thinking. This is what you're thinking. Let's have a conversation. Let's work this out. Have her sit down with the sanctioning body and say, look, I want to try to get this there. I want to be the first female to sit down with you guys and try to get it to that level. What do I got to do to make it happen? I'm your champion. She's got the record and all the things that come along with it to be that person. Speak up. Don't just walk away from it when in that moment. That's your moment to shine. That's your moment to make a real change. You just vacated that and gave that moment up. That's not what I'm looking for. Just me speaking out loud.
Good point.
I do love her though as a fighter.
But,
I love her, just so we're clear.
Yeah, she's she comes to fight. And
yes,
that fight that she had with Katie Taylor, I'd watch that all the time. Great fight.
Did you think she won that fight? I thought she won that fight.
I thought she won the fight.
I thought she won the fight.
I thought she that one's one. I go, you got robbed. No.
I didn't want to say robbery.
I know.
I had her winning by 2 rounds.
I had her winning by 2 rounds also, I think. Yep.